Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
You big dummy. Oh, great Odin's raven.
Say hello to my little friend.
I stepped in a ditch last night, man. I almost closed my balls off, man.
You take drugs, Danny?
Every day. Good.
What's the problem?
Yeah, David.
Oh, no funky beer well without.
I'm the doctor.
What's up, guys?
This aggression will not stand, man.
Engage.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pulp Culture Cafe, season 14, episode 417. I am your host, John, and also on the show today is our foreign correspondent, Paul, and then who used to be Shits McGee, but now is Wild Man Podcast, Scott.
As soon as I made that fucking title, I was like, come on, be inventive, woman.
Okay, female. So we're going to jump right into the news. We did our little chat before the show, but we're going to jump into today's first episode of the recording. So, Scott, whip out your news dick and slap it all around.
Have either of you seen the Doomsday trailer yet for Avengers?
Yes.
The new one.
Oh, that one. Yes,
No.
I think I did.
No,
You've not seen it. Okay. It
I'm
looks like
trying
it's going to be...
Oh, I was going to say, I've been trying to avoid the Doomsday ones because I don't really want anything spoiling because
It's not a spoiler so much as a reminder.
Right.
It featured about a dozen characters that never got a second season on Disney Plus or a second movie. So you're like, it's all the people that they couldn't get over in the 5 years beforehand are now in a movie to try and get them over. I'm tired of multiverses. It makes for far too lazy writing, and and even Kevin Feige had mentioned that these next two movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars, are going to be multiverse based, and it's going to wrap it up. And I was like, well, okay. If it can get the MCU back on track, I'll be very impressed. But that's a lot of heavy lifting, and I think it's a longer movie. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But there's some documentation floating around that has been pretty well confirmed it's the entire movie. But I don't know. I mean, it featured a lot of characters that they just didn't do very well. And some of the characters, they had a Shang-Chi Gambit battle, and people were going on about it. And I was like, that Shang-Chi movie, people weren't really liking it. I mean, I know they liked Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine, but stuff like that will only get it so far. And they had a cameo of Steve Rogers in it, and I have to confirm this. It can't be true, but they had at San Diego Comic-Con, they had all of the costumes from the new Doomsday movies, and they literally had a guy in a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, and it was regular guy, and that was Steve Rogers. And I have to confirm whether it was a made up or it was altered in some way, because that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, if they actually did that at San Diego Comic-Con, because it's Mjolnir between his legs, which is even hilarious, a big hammer between his legs. Because in the trailer, are you going to watch the trailer or not? Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody if you're not.
I watched it, but it'd probably be the last one I watch.
Yeah. So Steve Rogers gets Mjolnir. He flies into his hand.
Yeah.
This is just a theory of mine. I don't think that's Steve Rogers at all. I think that's Loki, who is now worthy of holding the hammer. And I think because Steve Rogers' nose looks like Tom Hiddleston's. When I saw it, I'm thinking his nose doesn't fit his face, and then I took a picture of Tom Hiddleston, and it's Tom Hiddleston's nose. So I think that's who it is, and I think basically what's going to, I think how the scene's going to play out is Mjolnir's going to fly into his hand, and then Thor's going to realize that's my brother's nose on Steve Rogers' face. I think that's how it's going to play out. I may be wrong on that.
I
but
fucking hope you're wrong. That sounds
you see
stupid.
a picture of Chris Evans, it doesn't look like his nose. And you look at other pictures of Chris Evans, either he had a really shitty nose job or that's not his nose. Anyway, we'll see.
That's the evil nose from Evil Hydra. So he's got, that makes it a little different. They put a little plastic bump on his nose so he looks evil.
If they turn Steve Rogers into a Nazi in this film, the former Captain America, that will be on brand and one of the dumbest things they could do. But they've got a lot of heavy lifting to do with this. They've taken a lot of characters and they've introduced them, and everyone, anyone who's watching this thinking, oh yeah, I remember that movie that I didn't like very much, or that first season of that Disney Plus series that I didn't like very much. So, and they're putting in Thor. There's a shot where Thor lands in front of Doctor Doom, and there's some very good rumors that they were going to kill some people in this, and Thor was one of them. Professor Xavier and I should say Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are in this trailer. Cyclops is in there, and I think they're all dead. I think they're going to do the same thing they did with Multiverse of Madness, where they're just going to introduce these characters and kill them very quickly. But time will tell. I hope they don't, or at least give them a little more time than the 5 minutes they did in Multiverse of Madness. But the trailer looked good, and I'll go see it in the theaters. But it doesn't have near the vibe of Endgame, where they built up these characters over years and you were excitingly looking to a resolution.
Oh, I haven't been excited about Star Wars, any movies now, superhero movies for a while.
Yeah, it looks like they've just thrown this together. It'll be cheaper. It'll make money because I don't think they're using any CGI. I think it's all AI. I bet money it was all AI, all the special effects. And that's going to cut probably $100 million out of the budget right there. So if they can do it cheaper, they'll make money. I'd be very surprised if it reached $1 billion. I would, they should be very happy if it gets between 600 million and 750 million. But, so that's that.
Well,
yeah.
I watched it, and it was like the first trailer, right? So I watched it just to see what's going on, and then, but, like you guys have mentioned, Doomsday's the one you're looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to it. Like, I'm not, oh yeah, Doomsday's sick. I think they've reached their peak.
They reached the peak a while ago.
Yeah,
on the last show we had, we were talking about the movies we were looking forward to the most, and me and Scott both said Avengers. But it's kind of morbid curiosity. It's like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what to do with it. I don't think it's going to be great, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what to do with it. But like you say, there's going to be so many characters in it that they're going to have to cull a lot of them pretty quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be too much screen time for too many people, and the story's not going to get told. So there's going to be it's sort of like here's a lot of people, and then it's like, oh no, and now there's a disaster that we need to put right, which is
poor Eternals in the Witness Protection Program couldn't get any fucking airtime, for the life of them. None of them were in this movie.
So I mean, it's on the radar, but it's not. I mean, the only reason I'll go see it early, like the first day if I can, is just so I can, go back on the internet and not be hit with so much shit.
Yeah, and you will be right out of the gate. There's no fucking around. 6 hours. It used to be you get a full day or two. Now it's like within 6 to 12 hours, it's all up there.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be people tweeting from inside the cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to be spoiling it in real time.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Do you guys have any stories, or?
Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. Reach across the screen and bitch slap you.
Marvel Comics is leaving New York City.
Oh,
They are pulling up stakes. After almost 90 years to pull up stakes, 100 employees are going to be heading to Burbank, California. That to me, that's a monumental. I mean, Stan Lee from Beyond the Grave must be really pissed off because he had wanted a California branch for years. He hated living in New York City. His wife hated living in New York City, and they really wouldn't let him do it. But with those changes is coming some bigger changes at the top. A gentleman named Stephen Wacker. He had worked on the Brand New Day storyline. He's been at Marvel. He was there I think he left in 2002. So he's kind of a veteran of the comics industry. He's going to be taking over for CB Sobolski, who's going to be moving on to the manga division. They're going to try and pump that up a little bit because honestly, manga, as you and I, John, saw in Calgary, is a lot bigger than anyone talks about. Mm-hmm. It's kind of I would suspect, outperforming comics at this point. So he's going to move into a manga division within Marvel. When I was researching this, I guess more creators are located in California now than New York anyway. So it's one of those things where it kind of makes sense. It's one of those things I wonder if 10 years down the road, because that Marvel universe is based out of New York, but if it's not in any capacity in New York, I suspect it's going to start taking on a more either international or a California flavor, which is just going to be weird to read the comics not based in New York. I mean, Kevin Feige said in the different interviews that it's kind of New York is the lifeblood of those comics. But I would suspect if the writers are all in California, they're going to start writing about areas out there around the world and not so much New York City, which again is just going to be kind of weird after decades of reading about.
There's a lot of stories really take place in New York now.
What's that?
Does a lot of the stories take place in New York now?
They do. It's your Spider-Mans, the Fantastic Four, not so much the Avengers. They're Daredevil. They're all based in New York City, and all their stories for the street level guys, all their stories take place within New York City.
Okay, so
Punisher's another one.
Okay, so they take place in New York. I'm being the bad guy, but. So, don't you just need the backdrops of New York?
Well, a lot of the places that they use are basically New York City iconic locations: Statue of Liberty, Midtown Manhattan. So it's going to be weird to try and if they're going to.
I don't know. All you got to do is draw. All you got to do is draw downtown. That's all.
Well, it's also interesting. Like Spider-Man, he couldn't swing through buildings in California and Los Angeles.
That's why. I mean, you're just he's. I don't think. I really don't, and I don't read Marvel that much anymore. But I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. You can still draw New York.
Well, they can do it. It's just going to be weird to not have these heroes, and I think in time they're just not going to be all based in New York after decades. It's just going to be odd to see it in a different locale. They did it with the West Coast Avengers. They moved the Avengers to the West Coast in the 90s, and it worked for a bit. But after a while, there just wasn't as many interesting places that they could take, that the stories could take part in. I remember reading that series thinking that after a while it was and I think that's one of the reasons why the series just kind of petered out, because there's only,
But if you have an international artist from somewhere drawing Spider-Man, he's never been to New York. He's just drawing the city as he sees some photos of the internet, right? Yeah. So I still don't think it's going to be as big a deal as you think it is. No one's going to notice.
Time will tell.
So, anyways,
Atari and Universal. This would be interesting to you gamers. Atari and Universal have signed a deal to potentially develop films based on the 10 classic arcade games. They include Pong, which would be kind of cool to see the origin story of Pong.
Okay. I thought you were going to think of a Pong movie where people sit and watch this go, Pong,
No, but I mean to see the origin of the guys putting that together in such a simplistic thing that started the entire gaming industry.
Yeah.
Pong,
Netflix.
Asteroids, Centipede,
Hemorrhoids.
Missile Command, Berserk, and a name I hadn't heard in years, Yar's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys play that at all when you were kids?
Don't even remember it.
That's a very famous one. That I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who wrote that. It's that's if I'd known you were going to bring that up, I'd have done a little bit of preparation because I know a little bit about that. What's his fucking name? Yeah, he used to do a column in a magazine I used to read, and that was What he wrote that for the Atari 2600, and it was a technological masterpiece for its day. The way that he programmed it and what he could make that program do.
I'd heard the name, I just hadn't heard it in years. But after Minecraft, that was a surprise. Like that movie made, I think, $1 billion, and it shocked the shit out of a lot of people. I remember Jack Black. I didn't know much about it. I never played Minecraft, but the fact that it made $1 billion, it was one of those things that I said, okay, video games, that's kind of beginning become the new comic book if they can do it right. But I mean, I'm guessing that's where this deal came from. It's all the profits from that. It must feel like, when you see these movies, it must feel like the first X-Men to a lot of gamers, where you're seeing these classic video games that are going to be turned into movies. And I can see how they can do it. The Pong could be an origin, Missile Command, Centipede. I don't know what they could really do with that. Maybe a horror film of some sort. But it's interesting that Universal said, "Hey, there's something there." They said that a couple of articles said that they've already bought the first feature film project, but they didn't state it in which one it was. Pong would be the start of the beginning would probably be the best way to go about it.
Well, to be fair, they made a film about Tetris, which was about the guy who invented it or programmed it, and the guy who bought the license and put it on the Game Boy. So if you're going to make a film about, say, Pong, for example, it doesn't have to be about like a tennis match or something like that. It could be about, this is the first video game. This is like, the first video game is actually called Space War. But Pong was like the first massive home video game.
Yeah.
So, you could make a film about that, about who put those under every single television in the world quite easily.
It was. I remember playing it. I remember thinking to myself, "Wow, this is just it's so simplistic. Yeah. It's a tennis match. It's just But to get it there, such a simplistic thing to get it in. You're right, millions of homes.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah, to be able to interact with something on the television screen back in those days was an absolute miracle.
Exactly.
We had a black and white one to begin with, which was like a little dial that you made your thing go up and down. And then we got one that was in colour. It's like, oh my God, it's in colour. This is incredible. We're in the future. And then there were little switches where you could make your bats bigger and smaller. You could speed the ball up, and it's like, well, mate, it doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah,
this is incredible stuff. So I'd watch that. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Just see where the idea came from. I mean, at the time it was groundbreaking that you could interact with the TV.
Yeah,
I mean, there must have been a thought process to that. I would watch that origin movie. That would be pretty cool to see. And but again, I don't know which film that they'd option first. But actually, Tetris wasn't on that list of 10 classic games, and I'm guessing it's because it's already been done type thing. So
it has already been done, and technically, it's not. So the list is just about Atari properties, and Tetris is something different because it was actually programmed by a Russian guy. And then it was bought by an American, and who put it on the Game Boy as a packing game, and it just made the Game Boy fly off the shelves. And that's kind of how Nintendo got such a massive head start in that side of the industry.
I vaguely remember that.
Something along those lines. Yeah, and it's the guy who was in Kingsman. Taron, is it something?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I remember the movie. Like I didn't watch it or
It's not
nothing,
Apple.
but I was trying to remember who was in it. So
Yeah, is it called Taron Egerton or something like that?
yeah.
Taron Egerton. I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, he's in it. I think it's on Apple Movies. I believe it's actually quite good, but I haven't seen it. There's Tetris and Game Boy isn't really my thing. I don't have a personal interest in it, but I believe it's quite good.
Yeah. The morning show. I mean, I think you watch it, don't you, Paul? Also?
We do, yes.
Yeah. It's going to end with season 5. They said that this is going to be the planned conclusion. Jennifer Aniston had done an interview, and I'm not sure whether I believe that. I mean, most people would say that whether it was canceled or not, but it's the type of show where you can do that, and no one would really notice. Jeff Daniels, Renee Rapp, and Jeremy Irons are back from the last season. The 4th season, it wasn't bad. It was probably the weakest season that they had. They were a little too far into the weeds, but it's interesting because that show was one of the originals that launched the Apple TV streaming service in 2019. Mm-hmm. So, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I just like the last season. There was a few actors that when they left the show, I was very happy that they were gone. I didn't enjoy their acting at all. But Jennifer Aniston and what the hell's her name?
Reese Witherspoon
did a great job with the show. For the most part, kept it very entertaining. Reese Witherspoon is a brilliant business person. I think she's a billionaire now, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. She had a book club. I mean, I think I mentioned this before. She started a book club, and she had an option. If the books were featured, she had an option, first look option of the books. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of her movies have been successful, because they have book sales behind them, which is such a, I look at comic books that I'm surprised that more companies don't look at independent comics and say, look, there's a built-in audience there coming out of the gate. But she kind of did what Oprah did, where she had a book club and she had first option. And that's where she's made a lot of her money at, actually, on these books. So that's going to be ending in season 5.
There's 2 things there. One, it could feasibly be that they did have a planned ending. They could have always had a planned ending. It's just like a smash glass and film the planned ending. Yeah. And they're at that point now. I think arguably, I agree with you. I thought season 4 was the weakest so far. It kind of lost the plot a little bit. It wasn't the same as the previous ones. It wasn't about the dynamic between the 2 leading women. It wasn't about the news show as such. It was just slightly off the mark a little bit, and I think perhaps they know that, and they've thought, well, we don't have any better ideas, so let's just pull the trigger on that final season that we've always talked about. So, I suspect they've always had a final season planned, but it's probably the right time to do it, because if you can't do any better than season 4 and it's only going to get worse, then let's wrap it up.
Well, they kind of after Elon Musk, or a caricature of Elon Musk, and podcasters. And it was, maybe I mentioned this on another show where, I was like, I'm sure Jennifer Aniston, did some research and said, all podcasters look like garden gnomes, and I'm not having sexual relationships. You better make them handsome. And that's what they did. Handsome podcaster there in the studio. Yeah. It was one of those things where it felt like they're in their depth, because when they were talking about certain subjects, I was thinking, it sounds like some intern got off the internet. What's this person do? And then they made a caricature of these characters. But John Hamm had actually been going to be nominated for an Emmy, or he did get nominated for an Emmy, and they had to take it back. And there was something that had gone on, and I never quite looked into it, but he had actually gotten an Emmy nomination, and they had to retract it. So, but it's well acted. There were some good things, but there's one character, and I've never liked her in anything I've seen her in. I have no idea how she works in Hollywood. You know what I'm speaking about? She left.
I know exactly who you mean.
And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad that person's off my screen. And that stuff like that really brought down the season and weakened the season. So, but we'll see where the 5th season goes. But it's not going to be out until about, I think, 2027, if I read correctly. So,
Wow. Okay.
Shall I continue, or do you have some nudes for me?
Oh, and do I have any nudes? I don't know. Let me see. This is video game. Bethesda loses Fallout. They're not going to be in control of the Fallout games anymore, it looks like. And,
Yeah, they've given it to Obsidian,
Yeah.
haven't they? I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think there's been a pretty positive response to this, because there's a lot of people, a lot of fans of Fallout, and I think we are two of them.
Yeah.
Have been disappointed that we've had to wait so long for a new Fallout game, especially because of the success of the Amazon TV series, which everybody seems to like, and everyone thought there was going to be a new show in development, a new game in development because of the success of the show. But there hasn't been. So now Microsoft I think they own both studios, certainly own the property. And I think they've said, right, well, if you're not making one, you are. And they've given it to someone, and they've just said, right, make a game. I can't remember the name of the guy who they're giving it to. But I think Obsidian did Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, they did.
I've started twice and haven't got very far into. I keep meaning to actually play more of it. I just don't get around to it. So it's quite a positive reception to the news. I thought there'd be a bit of pushback, because Bethesda sort of traditionally own the thing and have done more Fallout games than anybody else. But if they're too busy working on the Elder Scrolls or whatever it is that they're working on, then yeah, fuck it, give it to someone else who's got a good shot at making a good Fallout game.
They put a lot of emphasis on the 76. Now,
yes,
there's their game, because they're making, but Fallout 76 is starting to. I read that they're losing people because it's very repetitive after a while. If there's new missions, there's nothing special to do except get new toys, which are useless to me.
Yeah.
Or go spend buy a carpet for your house, your video house, which is fucking dumb. But and then with that news, it's again, just a guy he does video game reviews on YouTube or whatever. That's his bag. He thinks that eventually Fallout 76 will just disappear because Bethesda's not there pushing it anymore, right?
It will eventually. Probably not until the new Fallout game comes out and everybody starts playing that instead. It's all the Fallout fans need some Fallout to play, and there's only so many times you can replay the same story-driven single-player game. So there's a lot of people still playing 76, and I like 76. I think it's good fun, but like you say, there's only so many times you can go off hunting the same thing or completing the same bounties or whatever. But just every now and again, I like firing it up and just playing around inside Fallout 76. It's it's good. It's good fun.
I do, just because it's quick and easy. You get in and do with things, but you just I haven't finished every mission because I just don't have the proper armor, and I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for Fallout first so I can get this extra shit, which is, I think if I don't know if Bethesda still has control of 76, if 76 is going over to this other company, but it sounds like it's not gonna be on their high in their property list, like, right? We've got this and this. Well, we'll do a little bit with 76, but it'll just die and go away. So
while it's still making money, while there are still people still spending money on microtransactions, then they will continue to maintain it. I think it's still staying with Bethesda because there's not really any new content.
Yeah.
So they don't need to give it to somebody else. It's just a case of maintaining what they've already got.
Yeah.
So they'll keep hold of that for the time being, but their focus is on the new Elder Scrolls game, which is probably not going to come out for another few years. because we've not seen anything about it at all, even though it got announced like 3-4 years ago, maybe longer. Who knows? But yeah, it's taken up a ridiculous amount of time and resources, which I think is part of the reason why they're giving Fallout to somebody else, because they're not going to be able to do both, and everybody wants a new Fallout game, and Microsoft wants to make money, and they know they'll make a lot of money from a new Fallout game. So so there you go.
Yeah. So what else? The only thing, where's all my papers? They're all over the fucking place. I suppose we could do with the news. Green Lantern's trailer, the latest one. You guys see it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I actually. I've been looking forward to this anyway, and I watched the trailer this morning. I watched a few things this morning actually, so I've got some stuff that isn't on the list that I emailed to you.
Okay.
Because if it isn't going to form part of the show, because it's an old question. You asked us about what we're looking forward to in the next 6 months, and I put Spider-Man this time around because it's like, fuck it, why not? What else is there? But I watched the Lanterns trailer this morning, and I thought, no, I want to change my answer. I'm really looking forward to this TV show. It looks fucking awesome. Yeah. It really does. It might be absolute dog shit, who knows? But the trailer's done its job, and I'm as excited as fuck about it, because it just looks... It looks exactly the sort of thing that I will enjoy watching. It's like True Detective with Green Lantern rings. Yeah. It's just... It really does. It looks great. It really does look good. I can't wait.
What made me raise my eyebrow was when they mentioned Manhunters in it.
Yes.
I got, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, like, oh, shit, okay. Now we're dipping into a bit of the broader DC universe here that we don't normally get to see or hear about.
No, the only thing I was confused with it, because I don't know the whole history of the Manhunters, but I didn't know they could change form.
No, I didn't either, actually. No,
so I don't know if that's right or not. They might have changed it. So the only part that I did that was disappointed, and this is why I've stopped watching a lot of trailers. I want to go back to the days when I know fuck all when I walk into the theater, is Sinestro. I wish they hadn't put him in there.
I did. I saw that and I thought, I wish you hadn't told me that Sinestro was going to be in it. I'd rather have been pleasantly surprised while I was watching the series.
Yeah.
But now we know.
Yeah.
So hey ho.
It, like you said, it did its job. It got me hooked. I want to see it. I'm going to call it Green Lanterns. I'm not going to call it Lanterns. It's Green Lanterns. No. Yeah.
It is Green Lanterns. Yeah.
And
it is, absolutely.
So the part I didn't get missed about was the Manhunters, which got me more interested. But the disappointed is Sinestro showing him. So I'm actually now looking forward to it to see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I think we got to see a little bit more of Hal Jordan doing Green Lantern stuff in this trailer than we have done previously, because he's been training up John Stewart and whatnot. And with absolutely no disrespect to John Stewart whatsoever, because I know that he's a very popular Green Lantern character, but I'm 54. And Hal Jordan is my Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Growing up, he was always Green Lantern, and I've always fucking loved Green Lantern because it's just powered by imagination, and it's that. It's just when you're a kid growing up and you're reading those stories, and you're thinking, oh, that would be fantastic. That would be amazing to have a ring where you could just conjure up anything you want. It was mind-blowing stuff. So I've always had a soft spot for Green Lantern. So I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, me too. For some reason, I don't buy the books, but for some reason,
well, I did.
Yeah,
I did. But not anymore.
Yeah, I bought the Brightest Day. Was it Blackest Night series that came out where the dead was coming alive?
I don't recall that one. I thought you were talking about the sort of the origin story, Emerald Dawn, 6-issue miniseries.
No.
Emerald Dawn and Emerald Dawn 2.
No, this is a different one. Those. And then I read the Red Lantern series. I really found that interesting, something different, right?
Yeah.
But
I didn't read any of the spin-offs, but I read all the Green Lantern stuff.
So I don't know why, but I always had a soft spot for it. When it was animated stuff and that, I always watched it. always watch the animated stuff. So, yeah, okay. And anything, Paul, you want to drop in news here, and then if not, we'll just move on to stuff we've watched.
I got a couple of questions if you need more, but yeah.
The only thing that I noticed of any interest was it was Linda Carter's 75th birthday yesterday.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that made me think. Well, wow.
Yeah.
75 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, still would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely looking woman.
She looks, yeah. So,
yeah, God bless her. God bless her. Those were the days. Saturday tea time, watching Wonder Woman.
Yes, I know what you mean.
God bless Linda Carter.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I gotta save stuff here for. Yeah, I'll save that for the next show. And you know what? We'll just keep. We'll do stuff we watch. We'll play it by ear again. Like if we get towards the end, we want to either end it and start a new show, and then. But right now, stuff we watch. So I'll start with a couple of things. I picked up Reacher again, but I've only watched the one episode. I've got the episode. I'm only 3 episodes into the new season. I watched 1 and 2, and then watched 3 again, and then it's just like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on, and now I've got to force myself to go back to watch the rest of it. It just didn't catch me as much as it did in the first 2 seasons, you know. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying after a while, it's the same sort of idea. Reacher goes into some place, does something to stop the bad guys. So, I'm trying. I'll go back again. I have to be in the mood. Basically, it's like, what else is on? Oh, shit, I haven't finished Reacher. I'll go and do a couple episodes of that. You guys have finished it, right? Season 3?
Season 5?
5?
Oh,
it's only season 3.
Oh, sorry. Season 4, I think, wasn't it?
No. I think there's only...
Season started in August.
Yeah, but it's season 4, isn't it?
Yeah, season 4. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Season 5 is starting in August.
Huh?
I think.
You're confusing me now. I thought I'm watching season 3 episode.
Research. I thought there'd only been 3, but...
I think Scott's in the future.
To be fair, Johnny's right. They do all blur into one.
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same story.
The Alan Richards, is that the guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
He was on a podcast the other day, and just like I don't know why they do that before their stuff's coming out. I don't really think it's just going to create interest, like controversy creates cash, but fuck, just it's just I don't know. You just I guess you can say what you want during an interview, but it's not going to help your show just by saying divisive stuff. I mean, if you believe it, say it. If you afterwards, but God Almighty, don't shoot your own shoe. Don't shoot your own show in the foot.
While Paul's looking that up, you find it?
3 seasons.
Yeah,
4th season that starts.
4th season coming up. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm 3 episodes into season 3. So I'm just I can't. Season 4. Fuck, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
What else did I watch? King of the Hill, the new season on Disney Plus. I burned through that not because this is great. It's just I had nothing else to watch. So it's. I always find animated shows you can pay attention, but you also don't have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because part of the thing is the script. They draw the things the way it look like, but they do it so well that you can imagine in your head, if you're not in the exact same room at the same time when it's playing, that oh fuck yeah, I know what's going on. I know what's happening. I know, Bill's doing this, or he's always pathetic looking, no matter what he does. He's just a sad man,
You know, King of the Hill's one that I never watched.
No?
Never seen it. No, never seen it.
If you just want something to put in the background so you have some noise, just to make things feel light while you're doing something, and you don't need to really pay attention, is King of the Hill. You know?
Well, that's kind of where I'm at with Bob's Burgers at the moment.
Same
I started
thing.
Watching that.
Yeah.
It's actually good. It's actually good. You know, no disrespect to Bob's Burgers, but that's a background TV show.
Yep.
I'm up to about season 10 at the moment, I think, and it's kind of just background noise.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do look up and pay attention, it is good.
Yep.
And when I finish Bob's Burgers, I'll probably do the same thing with King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I am aware of, that I will watch.
Yeah.
But it's so far from the list of priorities that I'm never going to sit and pay attention to it. So it might as well as be a background show.
Yep. That's a lot of the shows are for me.
They had The Simpsons and they had Family Guy, and I watched those, but I always thought of King of the Hill as Fox Rural, where it's like it's more of a rural humor compared to the Family Guy or Simpsons. So I watched a couple episodes, but I never really got into it because I always thought it was more geared towards, and I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but it's more of a rural vibe to it.
It seems to be more of a Trailer Park Boys type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In that vein, like out in the sticks type thing. But
because I never got into that either.
No,
I tried, watched the first season, but it just
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, it's it's probably just like anything else. It's if you're Canadian, and low trash Canadian, you fucking understand it. You know, it's like some British shows that I probably love, and Paul, you no, that's garbage, right? So it's the same thing. But
I dare say,
but it says place in Texas, you know. So they've got the the Texas mindset, you know, and they always love how much they this is but damn Mexicans, but the man was speaking Spanish everywhere, and it's just but it just shows you, like, Hank is like, I'm surprised that every time he stands up, the chair isn't stuck to his ass because he's so fucking anal retentive, right? He, like Peggy says, "I love you," and don't say that in public. People are around, like, holy fuck. And I got one more. Then we move on to you guys. This is an anime show. It was on Netflix. It's on Netflix. I went by it. My son texted me, says, "You've got to watch it. You're gonna love it." Chain Smoker Cat. So it's an anime where they call them beast folk, but there's cats and dogs. But this one centers around a female cat that just fucking wants to smoke. Her only reason is she gets jobs just to buy cigarettes so she can smoke. She's in a building with... It's like the apartment building is full of deviants and addicts. One's an alcoholic cat. She went to bed with a straw in a bottle of whatever so she could drink while she's sleeping. Another one is drugs, which is a very touchy subject in Japan. So every time they mention drugs, they change it something else, so they're not drugs. But she's a drug addict. So we got one that's sort of normal, but she thinks she's from a province. She thinks she's really funny, but she's not funny at all. So she gets upset because no one laughs. There's two humans so far. One's a guy that runs the place, and then they introduce to an anime hentai girl that draws hentai, so sex comics. She's getting the cats. She pays the one chain smoking cat money to pose for her so she can get how she wants the drawing to be. And she's she's a bit of a fucking deviant. So far, that's her. I'm assuming we're going to run into more different cats that are some sort of addict for something. The chain smoker cat sister is the normal one so far. She's in school learning how to get out. And the opening sequence of the show, there at one certain point you see a little montage of different aspects, different stuff. They're taking from different shows or movies, and they've animated the style to fit the title character or whatever. It's like there's a scene you see a bunch of cat, and I kind of recognize it at first, but it's like from Breakfast Club when they come running out and they slide and then they slide back. Another scene from Wednesday. There's a train spotting one. So far, the biggest laugh I had is I can't remember exactly, but they grab the one cat and you open her legs, and the other cat puts her legs on her crotch and just starts vibrating until this chick has an orgasm and pisses herself.
Holy shit!
So
this is on Netflix?
Yeah. Now if you want the dub version, you have to wait for 2 weeks. It's a weekly show, but when it first comes out, you have to do dub. But if you want it, the English trans, you have to wait a few weeks before they can dub it, because it comes out. It isn't like, we've got them all, we've dubbed them. This is when it dropped the line. Now, my son told me that it's not all that popular in Japan because of the content and the way they do stuff on there. Both him and I fucking love this show.
Sure enough, Chainsmoker Cat.
Yeah.
Netflix. Yes. I think I might have to add that to my list.
If you don't like it, Paul, at least watch episode 2. Okay?
Episode 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, get to episode 2. If you want to stop, that's fine, but I fucking love it.
Right. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Because they kind of look like people as well.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be like proper sort of
No.
animals type thing.
No.
Right.
So they're kind of like in that world where their cats have taken the form of humans. They call them beast folk, right? So,
got it.
And there's one scene where they shows the manager kind of bumps or goes into her room, and then the next scene it shows this great big fucking boner he has. So, I'll leave it at that. If you want to check it out,
it doesn't sound like something I'll watch in front of my wife.
Like there's no real nudity in it. There's side boob, right?
Right. Okay.
But
it doesn't like Fritz the cat.
No. Fuck no. This is different. It might be have the Japanese have always been for a while had that taken their style anime is just everywhere. If they decided they want this and this, they fucking put it in there. So I'll leave that. Well, what about you guys?
Just speaking of cats, just before we move on,
yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for the Ricky Gervais cartoon show?
I have not. I was thinking of that.
I want to watch that. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. So.
Yeah, that comes out in a couple of weeks, 7th of August, apparently.
I've got that around my reminder. So yeah.
I've got a reminder for that. Yeah, so we'll talk about that next time we record. Right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. It
that's
reminded me when you were talking about Netflix and cat shows.
Yeah.
I almost daren't watch that Chainsmoker Cat. That's the type of thing that I do not want my wife to catch me watching. It sounds awful. I'd be better off watching porn than something like this sort of human cats posing for nude paintings and
well, can't you just crack like the rest of us, for God's sakes?
Yeah.
What's
wrong with normal tits?
You'll get a better idea of my description of when you've watched the first 2 episodes. So
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I might have to watch it.
What else did I'm trying to remember what I talked about. But go ahead. Everybody's got a couple other things you want that you've kind of watched. You want to bring up?
I feel like we need to catch up on House of the Dragon. Surely everybody watching that.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I knew Scott would be. I wasn't so sure about John, but I knew Scott would be.
Actually, you know what? I missed the last 2 episodes because for me, it's not must-see TV on Sundays anymore. So go ahead. Give me your thoughts and we'll go from there.
Well, it is funny you should say that because I'm kind of in the same position. Every time I hear somebody saying that this is the favourite season so far and it's better than Game of Thrones,
oh fuck off!
I've got to check myself and think: is this for real? Are they taking the piss or are they being serious right now? Because it's neither of those things. It's neither the best season so far, and neither is it better than Game of Thrones. I mean, at the height of Game of Thrones, I mean, arguably it might be better than some of the later seasons when it really wasn't very good. But it is what it is. It's one of those shows that I always describe as not being shit enough to stop watching. It's not shit by quite a large margin, but it's not something that I look forward to watching every week. It's not something like, I can't wait till the new episode of House of the Dragon drops because I can't wait to find out what happens to some fucking arsehole whose name I can't remember that nobody likes. There's very, very few people on that show that I give a single shit about. And I really
They're unlikable characters. They're boring. Some of them boring and unlikable. The worst combination you can have.
It's like we're in the 3rd season now, and Rhaenyra, or whatever her name is, who's like the lead character, whose dad was the king, who had a throne stolen off her from somebody else, who's been fighting to get back on the throne. It's like, minor spoiler to anyone who isn't watching, and maybe to yourself, I don't know, I can't remember what episode it happened in, but she's back on the throne now. Yeah. And ever since she got back on the throne, the whole show has been about, we're going to have to put taxes up, how we're going to pay for this.
Drops. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Nobody gives a single shit about how hard it is to be the queen, man. For fuck's sake. This is what we've been waiting 2 seasons for, so that you can complain about how hard it is to manage your fucking finances and keep the people happy and still feed the fucking peasants. Nobody gives a shit.
Susan said that. She said, am I watching economics in House of Dragons? It was just like, she's like, this is stupid. She was laughing. She's like, this is really dumb. I can't believe it. And that's the casual fan saying, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah. I really don't know. I really don't know.
The biggest key to this season was the first episode, you had the battle.
Yeah.
You could keep that all in. The second episode was where the dragons showed up in King's Landing, and you could keep the people entertained. The third episode, they showed their ass because it was all acting, and some of it was so fucking bad, I thought I was watching Coronation Street with dragons. It was so terrible. Some of the acting was literally laugh out loud terrible. When he was standing there, and she's like, "Why are your sons bastards and not mine?" Well, because they're I was like, "What are you guys doing? What it's like, why are your sons bastards and mine are? Well, they're blah 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 blah." I'm like, it's just what are you doing putting this in Westeros?
I don't need a lesson on genealogy. I don't give a shit. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's like I don't even know who you are. I'm not personally invested in why your kids aren't being considered for something. Nobody cares. It's like, oh dear God.
But the battle in the beginning, the ship battle when they're going through the thing, they wanted people to get excited, but all of the backstory that they said involved this character. The ships. I've forgotten the character's name already. They're going on the ships, and I guess they hated each other, and that's where the battle of the ships when they're going through that passage was. But you didn't know anything about their past, so you couldn't give a shit. And one thing I would say when Susan, because this person, the captain, the female was trans.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
And it's funny because at one point in time, he let out this maniacal face.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure. And Susan pointed out the screen. She said, "I've seen that face. That's a man." She said, "I've seen that rage. Women don't have that face." I was like, "What did you say? Do we have to sell our house now?" But she said, because we couldn't figure it out, and I didn't look it up. She said, "That's a man," because this person made this maniacal face, and she's like, she said, "I know that face. That's a dude." And sure enough, it was a trans person. But nobody gave a fuck about the conversation because you knew nothing about the past history of these two sea captains who are going tooth and nail in the middle of the harbor. And it was just, I don't know, the whole thing. By season 3 of Game of Thrones, I knew most of the names, and I knew the history, and I knew the geography. I'm in season 3 of this show. I couldn't name 25% of these characters, and I just don't give a fuck about them either. Every time I see Daemon, is it Daemon Targaryen who's playing Matt Smith?
Matt Smith is Matt Smith. Daemon Targaryen.
Every time he's in a scene with someone else, you can tell how bad he's like levels above all the other actors in the scenes, and then you just realize, my God, there's some really shitty acting on this show. But episode 3 was it was laugh out loud at some points. And I was thinking, this show just showed its ass. It got the dragons in the second episode, the boats, the big battle, and then when they actually had to have meaningful dialogue between characters, it was laughable. And we're watching episode 4 now, and both of us are just like, no, I don't care if I watch this on Sunday nights anymore. I'll catch up. And there's another season left. And if you don't have fans excited by season 3, you're not going to get them back for season 4, or they're going to show up in even less numbers. So
no, exactly, no. I mean, just talking about Matt Smith as Daemon Targaryen. I mean, he spent all of this season just looking exhausted and disinterested.
Yes.
And I think that's probably how his character was supposed to be coming across. But I can't help but feel that that's just Matt Smith. Like, where the fuck is this show going?
Yeah,
it just looks exhausted and defeated, because it was cool in the first couple of seasons. The first season, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he's done some really cool shit, but now he walks into a room, he slams his sword down, he complains about something, he picks it back up and storms out, and that's pretty much all he does this season. That's all he does. He hasn't done any cool shit at all. No one's done any cool shit. It's really strange.
If I never see the two queens having a conversation again, I won't give a fuck, because every scene they do puts me to sleep. It's just that actress who was cast as the queen. She's fucking terrible. And anyway, I'm watching it to watch it, but the people who compare it to Game of Thrones, I like, you guys are full of shit, and you're getting paid to say that.
Yeah, bless him.
It's funny, Game of Thrones. One thing I have noticed about this series, Sir Bronn and the Blackwater, there's so many characters who were men 45 and up, but they've really said no men 45 and up. There's not any characters I can think of in this new series that are men 45 and up, really, and they've just made it into a show that, I don't know, it's boring. It's terrible. There's a show about dragons and battles, and it's boring. And it's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's quite interesting what you were saying about nobody 45 or up, because indeed in Game of Thrones, like, you had some cool characters, like some older gentlemen.
Yes,
I mean,
and it's just
fucking what.
I'm sure there was an edict to say, you know what, this age and up, no, this is for a particular crowd, and they're doing it. But fuck, I get pissed off at it, because I know how good Game of Thrones was, and they've just they've just kind of sawed into the legacy of that show.
Is House of Dragons based on any novels by?
It is, but him and the showrunner fucking hate each other.
Yeah,
George R. R. Martin and the showrunner hate each other. And I guarantee you, they've gone to him over the seasons and said, "George, what do you think is this? I love it. Keep doing what you're doing." They fucking hate each other. I can't remember the showrunner's name, but there's plenty online about it where they don't even talk to each other now. And I guarantee you, people are asking his opinion. He's like, "Yeah, you should do that. You should fucking have some crazy woman going on a dragon, killing other dragons, and that's great. That's great television. I guarantee he's doing that because he's just like, fuck you all, you're not following. And that's another thing I've read about the books. They're not following the books, and they're doing their own thing. Like in Game of Thrones, they followed the books, and they didn't have the books to work from in the later seasons, so they kind of did their own thing. They have the books, and they're still doing their own thing. So as a writer, I'm guessing George R. R. Martin saying, yeah, you want to do that? Go ahead. And he's just
he's just saying go ahead because he said, I'm getting paid.
I'm getting paid anyway. I don't give a shit. One thing I did notice about the folks in King's Landing, when you see the background players, they're all super attractive. It's one of those things I've noticed because I don't give a shit about the show. But you'd be surprised when you look at the background players in King's Landing and a few other. They all look like little models, right down to the kids. They had this kid on a field of battle in one of the last episodes we're watching now. There's this kid scrounging around the field of battle, and this kid's a supermodel. It's hilarious to watch some of the stuff they've done where they're like, you know what? No ugly people on set, but they're like poor people that are in King's Landing. They haven't been eating. No.
Yeah. And they all got really good white
clothes.
teeth.
Everyone looks great.
I can't say.
That was weird. I wonder what happened there.
I can't say I've noticed the supermodel thing because the last episode that I watched it on my mobile phone.
Yeah.
That's how little a shit I give about this show. I just watched it on my fucking phone. And it's like, Game of Thrones is out. All right, then let's see what's happening in Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, sorry. Yeah. What a crushing disappointment. But like I say, not quite shit enough to stop watching. I'm watching it out of, I suppose, kind of curiosity at this point, just to see what happens. But it's not offended me on a personal level yet. I just don't really care about it.
Boring dragon riders. People ride dragons that are boring. It's like
but man, it's how do you fuck up a show about dragons?
Yeah, that's one of the things. It's amazing. They've got so much to work with, and they're just fumbling it. It's so weird. But anyway,
so let's move on. How depressing. Let's move on. What else have we got to talk about then?
What's you haven't brought up anything, Paul? I mean, House of Dragon, because you both watched that. But anything that you've watched your own that you want to talk about?
I'll throw in a quick one. I mean, I do have things that I want to talk about, but I'm going to throw in a quick one just to get it out of the way because I had some time to kill this morning, waiting for you lazy fuckers to get out of bed and start recording this show at 8 a.m. I watched Masters of the Universe this morning on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
what immediately struck me as interesting. Well, I thought I've got to watch it because I'm the only one here who hasn't watched it. I need to have an opinion. I need to watch it so that I can tell you I've watched it so we can have a little chuckle. But what struck me as interesting initially was it's so hard to find. It's like Amazon are embarrassed about it because they can't find. Couldn't find it. It's not on the home screen. But bear in mind, it's like a new release on Amazon Prime. It was only in the cinemas like 5 minutes ago. Yeah. Fire up Amazon Prime. It is not on the banner page. It's not one of the headings. It's not one of the main things.
Not down in your favorite movies. I mean, top movies or anything?
It's not in the new releases. It's not in the movies section. It's not in the title splashes that scroll across the top to show you what the big new stuff is. Project Hail Mary's there. That's been there fucking weeks. But Masters of the Universe is not there. I had to search for it. I literally had to go into the search engine and search for it, and it brought it up. And I think it brought it up behind the one with Dolph Lundgren in it. It wasn't even the top search. It wasn't even the top movie.
Oh wow!
I thought, wow. I thought, am I wrong? I thought I could have sworn this was out and was available to watch, but Amazon have brushed it way under the carpet. Yeah. They do not give a single shit about that movie. So anyway, I watched it. And if I'm being completely honest, I was preparing myself for it to be absolute dog shit. And it kind of wasn't absolute dog shit because I was expecting it to be. But I can see all your points. It was an awful lot of the humour was too much. It was too far. There was bits that went on a bit too long. The whole movie was too long. When I brought it up, I hit play. I thought, how long? It's like 2.5 hours, 2.25 hours longer. I forget now exactly. I thought, you're taking a fucking piss. I've got 2.5 hours of this. So yeah, I watched the whole thing, and you know what? There are some bits that I did like, I have to say. Now, I must admit, when right at the very start, in fact, right at the very start, when Man at Arms was fighting Trap Joe, for a moment, I thought, I had both those toys. I've had that fight a million times. And for a moment, I thought, this movie could actually be pretty cool. Bearing in mind, this all happens in like the first fucking half an hour. You know, I thought, this movie could actually be pretty cool. It's not. It's not pretty cool. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. Like I say, it's not absolute dog shit. But yeah, I'm not going to be watching it again, and I don't give a shit whether they make a sequel or not. Which is kind of a shame, because you could have made a good Masters of the Universe movie if you dialed back on the silliness, if you dialed back on some of the ridiculous humour, if you'd sort of like treated it with a little bit more respect. I think you could probably have found a good movie in this. And if you'd recast Skeletor with that. But aside from all of that, you could have made a decent movie. But some of it was okay. One of the best bits, and this is unintentional humour, and this is my favourite part of the whole film. This probably tells you what you need to know about this film. This is my review of the film. My favourite bit of the film was in the first half hour. You're on Eternia. In fact, it's within the first 10-15 minutes, because it's right at the very start. It's before they fire Adam off to Earth. You get, I don't know how many hundred spaceships or whatever they are come flying into the city and start blowing the shit out of it, and everything's collapsing and there's explosions everywhere. And Man at Arms comes running in to see the king, and he says, forget the fucking line, but he's like, King, we're under attack. And I pissed myself, because I thought I would love it if James Purefoy just turned to the camera and just squinted at Man at Arms and went, are you taking the fucking piss? Because I thought, how the fuck he does not know that they're under attack at that point?
Yeah.
I do not know. He did not need to run into his fucking bedchamber at that point and say, we're under attack. The king's like, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
I can see that everything's fucking burning. I can hear the screams and the explosions, which have been going on for fucking 10 minutes now. Yeah. I know we're under attack. You are not a military genius, are you? You fucking idiot. And honestly, that was the funniest bit of the whole film. And like I say, unintentional humour.
Yeah.
But it was my favourite part of the whole film. And that kind of tells you everything you need to know about this movie.
Yeah.
But some of the humour was... I didn't mind some of the silly humour. I thought, okay, you know, it's about someone who's called He-Man, who runs around in a fucking, you know, furry underwear with a chest harness thing on. And, you know, it's like... It's difficult to take seriously, so I don't mind that they're having a bit of fun with it. But there was so much of it where you just thought, I know it's kind of supposed to be a kids' movie, but I don't think kids are this stupid. I think even kids will watch. Yeah.
Is Fisto's fist going in the asshole or the vagina, Mummy? Fucking so the humor was just like.
It was a little bit too much when Fisto turned to Ram-Man and said, give them head, Ram-Man.
Yeah.
And
Jesus Christ.
That seems a little unnecessary, and that's not funny. I can't believe that they left that in the movie. You know, it's like, just on the page, it's like, no, let's not even film that. Because that is not only not funny, it's creepy. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, where's your head up when you think that's relatable? When you're trying to what you're trying to do is create jokes that the adults who have taken their kids are going to see.
Well,
what point where you think that's relatable?
The movie was made, in my opinion, it was made for people who were fans of He-Man when they were kids, right?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's the big problem. when you get comic book guys complain because this isn't accurate, it's because we have to make a movie for the general audience. This movie was not made for the general audience. It was only made for He-Man fans. And that's why it's so bad. Because you didn't want to bring in anybody or make it sensible for people who are not watching or know who He-Man is. But you don't want to please those people. You're hoping that the old people that are still around to watch He-Man will come and love it, because they're the fans and they're the ones that will like it. Anyone else, nah, they're not going to like it because it's not directed to a general audience. It's directed to one audience, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they didn't do a good enough job for that one audience, unfortunately. So there you go. That's Masters of the Universe. And now we can put it all behind us. One other thing that I watched this morning. Yeah, brush it right. That's why Amazon have brushed it right under the carpet.
Yeah.
Because they know. They know.
Yeah.
The other thing that I watched this morning was the first episode of the new season of Strange New Worlds.
Yes, I watched that. Yeah, I had to do my workaround, but I watched it. Yeah, I watched it last night. Yeah,
I have not. So give me 1 minute. You guys chat. I haven't watched it yet, and I gotta go. Just give me a second. I'll be back.
Fuck off.
That's all right. We'll let you leave the room.
Yeah. So I wrote down a couple little things that I noticed. I liked it. It seemed to go back to old storytelling, the old story.
Yeah.
The time travel thing's getting a little used too much. Even though they change it around a bit, make it look different, but it's still the thing. And like he said at the somebody said at the end, it's so this is always supposed to happen. So that's the way I look at time travel movies now. It's never about change. This always happens. You make it look like it's something that's not supposed to happen, but it's supposed to happen. So, but I'm at the very start. I don't know if you caught this, but the older female engineer. She's about how excited she is about it. She hasn't seen stuff like this before. She says, I've only seen this one time before, but I was traveling around in a blue police box. Fuck.
Yeah, she had a phone box. Yeah, I did catch that.
Did you?
I did catch that. Yeah, I thought, I'm trying to, I had a feeling that she's actually made a Doctor Who reference previously as well.
I think so,
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I might be thinking of a different show, but I thought she had. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoy Strange New Worlds for the most part. I love the cast. I think the crew are great.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I think this show hung on the decision that Captain Pike had to make right at the end. And I'll be a little bit vague because it's only been out for a few days.
Yeah.
And, there might be people when you drop this show next week who haven't seen it. So I'll try to be a little vague. But I think this show lives and dies off the decision that Captain Pike makes at the end, which has got real sort of weight to it, which you think, oh, fucking hell. Yeah, that's... Yeah, and the way that everyone reacted to that decision, I thought this has elevated this episode from being okay to pretty good.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good episode. Hopeful for the rest. This is a short season, I think, isn't it? They're doing 2 short seasons and then wrapping it up.
Honestly, Paul, I don't know. It's been such a long time in the news. So the last time I heard it, and I sort of paid attention, that this is a regular season for them, which is only 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah,
and then the final season is short, like 5 episodes or something like that. Right. That's the last time I heard anything. That's the only time I checked into it. So that's what I'm sticking with. Okay. So,
well, that might be the case. But if we've got another 9 episodes to go, then happy days.
Yeah, I don't think this is the short season. I think
Right.
But yeah, it was a really good concept for a story, even though, like I said, it had time travel. I thought it was really interesting. Like, I don't know all the solar system, all the planets, but him remembering that a certain aspect of their system at the time, in his future, that this, and then having to make that call.
Yeah.
It's like them, being on a planet saying, we can't do anything weird because it's going to fuck things up. Him making that decision to have to do it because he knows if he doesn't, he could fuck things up, right?
It was quite an interesting twist. I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed that. I didn't see it coming, so that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good writing. If it takes you somewhere where you weren't expecting to go.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say about it?
The other thing is that I always get a kick when I see people. This has nothing really to do with the story itself, but Robert April, right? Everybody says Pike was the first. No, April was. Of that. They keep talking about the first captain of the Enterprise. Well, if you go with the Enterprise, it's Scott Bakula's character, right? And,
True.
Yeah, right. So it's them, and then it goes to somebody, and then I don't know in between, but it's April first, then Pike, and then Kirk, right? So
to be fair, I think, are they making a reference to that particular Enterprise because Pike and Kirk share the same Enterprise, don't they?
Yeah.
From the original series.
No.
Whereas the Enterprise TV show is a different. Ship entirely. It's just called Enterprise.
But I don't know if April was in captain of that Enterprise that they're on talking about. There's no reference to it. Other than he was a captain of the A Enterprise. So. But I hope it stays strong. I mean, geez, it should. 10 episodes, you should be able to make some good stories. I'm hoping the one with the Muppets, when they get changed into Muppets, is good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it worked for Angel. It was really good for Angel. But
I didn't see that one. I'm looking forward to that.
If you go back and find, it's Spike and Angel are turned into Muppets.
Muppets.
Yeah.
I remember that was good.
Yeah, it's a good show. So
Muppets make everything better.
You
probably wouldn't have seen the World Cup final halftime show, would you?
What's that?
I doubt either of you watched it. The World Cup halftime show. The football World Cup a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. The halftime show started off with Madonna, which no one gave a shit about, and then it very quickly it was the Muppets band. What they called, with Animal on drums. And the rest. Because it's me and my wife are watching it, and it's like, we don't give a shit about any of this. So that was the time to go and get some snacks and get another drink and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden it's like, the Muppets are on. It's the Muppets. And we got all excited because the Muppets are on. And they were only on for like a minute, and then they went off and someone else came on. And it's like, now we don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
But the Muppets were the best part of that. Anyway, I digress. So basically, Scott, we enjoyed it. We thought it was a good first episode.
Good.
So
you've watched there's 2 seasons left, right?
That's right.
We're discussing what I heard, and I'm taking as the last information, is that there's 10 episodes, and then 5 for the last season 5. So I haven't checked any more into it because after it happened, like I said, we've bitched about this. It's so long in between shows that unless you really want to keep attention, you just kind of whenever. And you lose it.
Don't ask me why this has just come to memory right now. But Sam Neill died. And everyone's been talking about Jurassic Park for the past couple of weeks, and that reminded me. I meant to tell you, Scots, last time I saw you, but completely forgot or didn't get it into the conversation. I bought from Apple iTunes the whole Jurassic Park collection box set.
Yeah.
So that's all 7 movies. They're all sort of like high definition or 4K. They've all got special features, and it was £12.99.
Wow.
All 7 movies, and I can do a quick.
Holy
Unless
fuck.
you know what the exchange rate is at the moment.
Well, it's about. Is it add 50% to that?
Add 50%.
So
right?
it cost me $1, almost $1.50 for £1.
Yeah. Right.
So
it's just under 20 Canadian.
Let's say 20 Canadian. Let's say.
Is that pretty good?
That's a good price. Yeah.
All 7 movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I thought, bye. Yeah, confirm purchase, please.
Holy
yeah,
fuck.
having all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new promo for that movie with Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway in it?
Yeah, I did. Actually, yeah.
No.
It looks like what Jurassic Park should have been doing the entire. It looks like a bit of a horror film, which I think. Yeah, watch the trailer. Watch the first trailer for it. I was like, God Almighty! I'd almost like to see that in the theaters, but we'll see.
I agree with you. Like, I'm not big on the Jurassic Park movies anymore. I think they're all the same shit. But this one, because of the way it's like, well, you know,
it looked very interesting.
Yeah,
it's almost like a thing of nightmares. It's almost like this is right in your backyard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even when they introduced them in the movies and they had them in the city, it wasn't. But this seems like, oh, this is how a wild animal would treat human beings if they knew all of a sudden, okay, we're equals now, and I'm bigger than you and I have teeth. Yeah. So it was good. If you have a chance to watch the trailer, Ewan McGregor. I can't remember the name of the movie. What's it called?
House at the end of the street. Something.
House at the end of the street. Yeah.
Something like that. End of the lane.
Like a dinosaur film.
House at the end of the lane.
Sound like
it,
but
when you read the title and you first start, and it isn't until they get to a certain part, you go, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
So
right.
And if they do it right, they can probably make a couple of films
after. Oh, stop it.
There's a question that, you know, they can build on. Just from the trailer, you can build on it.
Yeah.
Secret Wars, Dino.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. Okay. Yeah. Didn't know anything about that one.
Okay. Where are we at? I'm lost now.
Streaming reviews. Paula done some. I was gonna.
Oh, it was just shows we watched. Yes. Yeah.
Then we can probably slice this one off.
Big hunk of meat.
Have either of you watched? You probably haven't. Tehran.
No, you brought this up before. I haven't watched.
I brought up season 1. This is season 2 and season 3. Mm-hmm. Now, for shits and giggles, go to your phone, Google Glenn Close, season 2 Tehran, and go to images. Just humor me for a second.
No, I don't want
to.
Glenn Close, Tehran, season 2 images.
Season 2. Oh. Yeah, this is the one I watched the first season of, but oh, yeah.
Who does she remind you of?
Just make sure I get the right image. Glenn Close. Oh, hang on. There we go. Go on. Who does she remind you of? I'll tell you if I agree.
It's Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, fuck.
It looks exactly like. I was like, it was a great series. And every time I saw her on screen, I was like, oh my god, that looks like Mrs. Doubtfire.
I can say that. I can say that.
Yeah.
I can say that.
I was like, fuck, and it was such a serious, great show, and she did a great acting job. And every time she was on the screen, I'm like, oh fuck, that's Mrs. Doubtfire. I have to pay this some respect. But the review was for season 2 and season 3. Glenn Close was in season 2. Hugh Laurie was in season 3. Both were excellent guest stars. They really added to the season. and interactions with the main cast. I said this with the first season and continue the second, third. Fascinating look at life inside Iran. In the third season, it goes from she kind of goes underground, and then the underground is if your husband kicks you out of the house in Iran, you just go live in the fucking streets and you go live in what would be known as the Bowery. There's no real you just go get another man. You just disappear. You're sent up to the farm up north until you become a good woman. And it's hilarious because that's kind of where she hides out in the third season, part of the season, where these women who are just forgotten by society when their men kick them out. And but it's it's probably the best series since Homeland for international espionage. And that's high praise for a show like Homeland. A guy named Sean Taub, he plays Fariz, and Niv Sultan, she plays Tamar. And the guest stars in both the seasons. It's fantastic. I couldn't stop watching. It's one of those shows we just gobbled the 10 episodes up over like a 2-day period. It's fantastic. If you're looking for something in that vein of Homeland or international espionage in general, check it out. I loved it. I don't know. Did you not like after the first season? You were just like, it's subtitled. I know some of it's subtitled, but
yeah. Well, we enjoyed the first season, and the second one's just passed us by. And when you get onto the third one, it's like, oh shit, we need to catch up on that and watch the second season and then the third season. It's just never happened.
Yeah,
but
Hugh Laurie's brilliant. I was surprised, and it's a couple of months ago. Maybe you heard about just the gossip. He had kind of chastised somebody, and then he apologized for it. And then she responded, and it was hilarious because in her response, you could tell she had never actually watched the show, because she said, "I'm looking forward to your character in the upcoming seasons," but that will never happen if she had actually watched the show. And it was just the fake disingenuous of a lot of these gossip columnists who try and get the attention from these celebrities. They then get the attention and then don't really know what to do with it because they really don't know anything about the subject that they're pursuing. So, but it was really good. It was probably his best work I've seen him since House, to be quite honest. It was really well done. But yeah,
he's a surprisingly good actor. He's surprisingly versatile.
He is. Yeah.
Because he kind of started doing more comedy stuff.
Yeah.
He had a sketch show.
I watched Blackadder and then this. I was watching them simultaneously.
So was it Fry and Laura?
Fry and Laurie.
Yeah.
And
Fry and Laurie. Even Emma Thomas.
A few seasons on that. Yeah.
And Emma Thomas is a comedian actress.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
From the start, correct? She got her?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think there's an episode of The Young Ones where they're on a quiz show called University Challenge, and I think Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, Emma Thompson, and Ben Elton are panelists for a rival university.
Yes.
I think it's Emma Thompson.
I think I'm pretty sure you're right. Yes.
Yeah, she was part of that theatre group. If she's not on that show, then she was part of that theatre group. I'm sure of it. Of it. But and look at them now.
Yes. Yeah, I know. When there's a show you may have heard of SCTV. Yeah. So it's basically based in Canada, but there was an episode where they did the same sort of thing. It was a game show with, different groups together. And then this one fucking group was just fucking kids, high school kids, stupid as fuck. It was.
Sounds like a similar thing.
Yeah, very similar. So, I have lost track the whole time.
Stole that off us, but if they made that after 1982, there's a good chance.
Oh, yeah. I think it could have been. Yeah.
I used to watch The Young Ones while I was at school.
Oh, yeah. I didn't pick it up until I found it later, right?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't allowed to watch it at home, but I went round to my grandparents for lunch while I was at school and watched it there. So they were cool. Cool grandparents.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Anyway.
Where are
Put
we
an hour
at, Gemma?
40 into it.
We're an hour 40.
Yeah.
We talked how long before that?
I
For
don't think
recording.
it's a long
Not even 10
feel,
minutes.
No,
Okay.
I feel certain with this is an hour and a half show,
Yeah.
surely.
So what were we doing? We talked about we're supposed to do the question, which is a repeat, and then we were just going to jam on about different stuff, or
Yeah,
we can.
well, I answered the question because mine was lanterns. I'm looking forward to lanterns more than anything. If you want, you can stick in a comic book review and then put a.
Oh yes, that's what I forgot. Comic book reviews.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Like I said, I got to write this stuff down. I send it to you, then I delete it, then I forget it, and then that's good showrunner, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's why I get paid a whole lot.
Yeah.
Piles and piles of podcast money.
We lost money last time, Paul. We went up and then we lost money.
How the fuck do you lose money on
I don't know. Okay, so I'll start with mine.
We'll give you a fine or something. Fucking hell.
I'm going to start with I got 2 books, and oh, what's that? Somebody want something? No. Fuck off. So the first one I'm going to talk is from Vertigo. I picked up these books. I haven't started reading them for a bit, but I'm up to issue 6. I figure I better start reading to see if I like it or not. So
well, we've all been there where we buy a whole run of a comic without actually reading any of them.
Yeah. So this one's Bleeding Hearts. It's Vertigo Press. And Denze Camp and Stefan Morin and Matt Hollingsworth are the and it's curated by Stefan Morin. It's basically another zombie apocalypse things going on, but in this one the zombies have somewhat of an intelligence. They can communicate with each other, but their minds ain't exactly all straight. At one, the premise of the story, the one zombie, and there was a movie, same sort of thing, but he's starting to have feelings. His heart is starting to basically start to work again. So he's beginning to have a conscience about what they do, about simply running around eating people. He doesn't want to get caught. He kind of, because he knows if his heart starts to beat, then the other ones will know he's alive and make him want to eat him, right? So that's the whole. Mm. So it's just his journey from trying to figure out, what am I going to do? How am I going to keep a secret? Are things the way they're? Why do things sort of have to be this way? So there's not a lot of in-depth backstory. It's just it starts off with everybody's a zombie, and they're like anything, they spend their time walking around trying to find food. It shows a little bit of people trying to fight back. It's not working. Different. The thing about this is some of these, like there's a zombie who's still alive, but he's got a pipe shoved through his face. So it isn't like they're regular zombies. They've got, depending on how they died, one has a steering wheel around her head. Like, he has a friend that they were able to switch body parts, sort of a thing of friendship. They took each other's arm. So he's got one regular arm and a very big muscle arm, because his friend is a big muscular guy, and their names are not like the one guy's name is I gotta find it, but his name involves because he has mushrooms growing out of him. So they don't remember totally who they are, but they do have consciousness to know that, hey, we call you Mushroom Guy because you got mushroom. That's your name. There's a shunning of one zombie. His name is finds whole family in basement and eats them himself over a course of a week. That's his name. And they don't like him because he didn't share. So they shun him. He tries to make friends, but they won't pay attention to him because he didn't share his family with the rest of them. But it sets up for the story where at the end of it he runs into a mother and her child, and they're basically, what the fuck we're gonna do here? But he hesitates because his conscience is starting to come back. So I enjoyed it. I'm gonna read the other ones. I skipped book 2 because it went into a lot of backstory about the woman and the child, which really I didn't care about because, she was this, she ran into trouble, they're trying to stay alive, basically, to me. So I don't really care about that. I'm more in interaction between the zombie and the small child because in book 2, he brings them food. He keeps them safe from the rest of the other zombies. And now they're, what the fuck's happened? She's not sure this isn't what it's supposed to be. He's supposed to come after her, but something's changed. I enjoyed it. I liked it, and I'm going to keep reading the other ones. So I'm glad I picked up the other books so that I can read the rest. So like I said, I'm more interested in seeing what happens now between the zombie, the child, and the mother, and going there and trying to keep them. He's got to lie to his friends to keep these people alive. That's my gist. That's what I got out of it. So,
what is it called again?
Bleeding Hearts. No, I didn't say the title, did I? No. Sorry about that. Bleeding Hearts.
You might have done at the start. Right, Bleeding Hearts. Here we are.
So,
I'm just looking it up now.
Yeah.
It sounds quite interesting. You know me, I like zombie stuff, and I like different takes on zombie things. This sounds quite interesting. So I'm having a little look to see if it's available for Kindle. And I don't think it is. But the trade paperback doesn't come out till the 29th of October. I'm not sure I can wait that long. Fuckers.
Okay.
Right. I'll put it on my wish list.
And the second one,
sometimes digital editions sometimes come out much later than hard copy editions for some reason. I'll put it on the wish list and see if it comes out. See if it comes out for Kindle. Right.
Okay. And my second one is part of the 10th anniversary of Rogue One. They have a series of books coming back. I talked to one last time. Another one, this one is about Saw Gerrera. And it's written by Mark Bernardin. And artist is Gabrielle Guzman. And what I'm finding about these, like, Bernardin's take to me on this one is also show how far Saw has gone over the edge, but also over the edge of the people who follow him. So he's on a mission to get information to help, the Alliance, or help himself, because I think there's a lot of times what he's doing was taking the battle farther than the Alliance wanted it to go. But what I got out of it is how the people that follow him are willing to blindly follow this guy. Because he asks them to do stuff. Because at the start of the story, you just think it's like this. But when you get to the end, you realize how much control does this guy have over his followers? It's like a cult. And they'll do whatever this guy says because he's making him believe that doing this is necessary to do this. So, I can't give much of it away because if you want to read it, giving away the one part kind of ruins the story. I can't do that. But it's a story of utter devotion to this guy. That's what I got out of it. Not so much that this guy's a hero figure trying to defeat the empire, but almost like he's a cult figure and what cult leaders do to their followers. So even though it's just a filler story, if you want to see how deranged in a way Saul Guerrero is, I would read it. It really, because I'm thinking, what an interesting take on this guy. Instead of showing the heroics of this guy, it shows what this guy will do, anything, no matter what, to try and win this battle. So
Brilliantly played by Forrest Whitaker in the show.
Yeah. So, I would do recommend. The good thing about it, it's a one shot. It's not a continuous story. It's one book and that's done. So with the other one I talked about is, it's a continuous series so far. It's at 6 issues, Bleeding Hearts. So that's the 2 books I got. So,
okay.
All right. You guys?
I've got one. I might save it till the next show.
Okay.
All right. I've got 2 Spider-Man one, actually. One is written by Jonathan Hickman. It's Spider-Man A Long Way Home. It features the Hulk, Spider-Man, the Punisher.
You have my attention, sir.
Yeah, artist is Adam Kubert. It's outside of the Marvel timeline because the Punisher's origin's kind of different. Spider-Man's definitely in a situation that he's not normally in, and the Hulk is a murderer. He is Bad Hulk. And basically it's a story about the cube where the cube's involved, and the first 2 issues, Spider-Man is kind of an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. The Punisher is the sole survivor of a task force that goes up against the Hulk and loses very badly. And Bruce Banner is basically after the cube, and he will kill anyone to get it. So it's the character development is much different than the actual MCU. It's well written though, Jonathan Hickman. And I've said this about Hickman because he was in charge of Krakoa Age there 5 years ago. He's much better when he's given a storyline with an end in sight. I've seen him do a couple of 5 to 7 issue series now. He's much better in there because he has a beginning and end to a story and a lot less characters. So it's very well written. Adam Kubert as the artist, I mean, just a fantastic artist. So it's been really well done so far. I've enjoyed what they've done. They brought in non-superhero characters, and man, you care about them, which is always a sign of a good writer when you can bring in characters that aren't usually in the story, make you care about them. So if something happens to them, you feel it a bit. It's 2 issues in, and I'm glad I picked it up. It's really well written. And, of course, this was all done because of the upcoming Spider-Man movie. In that vein, I want to make some predictions because John and I are going to go watch this next weekend. I want to make some predictions and see how close I am. The villain everyone's been talking about as Jean Grey. Tom Holland said it's not Jean Grey, and I believe him. I think it's a character named Mosaic. This character was introduced in 2016, and he is a body jumper.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Yeah.
Talked about it on the show. Did we talk about it on the show?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make sure, because it's one of those things, if I'm right, because they're introducing a bunch of spider villains, and I think what's going to happen is this body jumper is going to go from villain to villain, and these villains are going to lose very quickly because this character Mosaic doesn't know how to use their powers properly. That's how they're able to put so many supervillains, because I think Spider-Man's going to hand them their ass pretty quickly. Ramrod, Scorpion. There's a few other ones, but I think it's this character named Mosaic that was introduced in 2016. His superpowers is being able to jump from one character to another, taking over their minds. And you've seen a few shots of that. And they said it was telepathy with Jean Grey. I don't think it's Jean Grey. I think it's this character. He was introduced. They had his own series, kind of an anti-hero. He had his own series. His name was Troy Beckett, I think. He's a basketball player. He's an African-American kid. But everything I've read about it tells me that's who it would be. And it would come out of left field. So that's my call. Just for the movie next week. I want to have it on print in case anyone that's who it is. And I've also got a bunch.
Few people that listen will know. They'll give the guy. He was right.
The second one is Punisher versus the Amazing Spider-Man. Dan Abbott's writing that. Really good. I first saw him when he did Death's Head back in the 90s. Artist is Matteo Del Fonte. It takes place right after Amazing Spider-Man 128, so it's kind of a retro story. And it's interesting in the fact that it's a story about the Punisher assessing Spider-Man as a potential ally in the war on crime. And the first two issues comes at it from the point of view is, how do I make this guy a little tougher? How do I convince him that, you know what, some people just deserve to have a bullet in the head? And it's interesting how in the first two issues I've seen where he's slowly coming around to seeing where the Punisher's necessary. He has an interesting story with Human Torch where Human Torch this guy just kills. And he basically says, yeah, but there's some people who are never going to see justice other than at the end of a bullet. And that's Dan Abbott's writing. He's a fantastic writer. I've seen him on a bunch of stuff, but it's a very unique for two established characters. I found it to be a very unique Spider-Man story. So if you have a chance to read it, it's called Punisher versus the Amazing Spider-Man. Pretty straightforward, but it's very good. Very good.
Here we go. Yeah, this is one that passed me by. Punisher versus Spider-Man by Dan Abnett.
Yeah, he's a British writer, actually. Yeah.
Oh. Now, funnily enough, not funnily enough, but it turns out that's Bleeding Hearts that you were talking about, John. The trade isn't out till October, but you can buy individual issues on the Kindle. Yeah. I can buy the first 6 for £18 off Amazon. Oh, so that's something to look out for. Here we go. Punisher vs. Spider-Man. Thank you very much. Oh, just speaking of, let me just reach behind me here. This got delivered a couple of days ago.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've not read it yet. It's literally hot off the press.
Is that the first 5 issues?
First 5 issues.
Nice.
Yes.
Good stuff.
What kind of foil? What kind of cover is that? Is it a foil cover or?
It's a trade.
No, it's a trade.
Oh, it just looks so shiny, like it's stepping out.
Yeah,
I
think, is this a reprint of the cover off the first issue? Is that what you're thinking of?
I believe that's what it is. Yeah, one of the variants maybe, but yeah.
But this is just a trade.
It's very good. I'd be very surprised if you didn't enjoy it. Yeah. Ben Pierce is a great writer.
Yeah, unfortunately. I kind of wish I'd read this morning instead of watched Masters of the Universe, but we all make our choices, don't we? And we have to live with them. So, but that will have been read by the next time I speak to you, not including.
Okay.
In the next 10
I
minutes.
got one I could show you too, that's the I'll show you later, but it's the X-Men story by John Byrne that he would have done if he had continued. About the first, it's a book. It's a hardcover book.
Oh, okay.
But it's cartoon. It's drawn like a comic book, but it's thick.
Yeah.
So it's book 1. He's got 2 more coming out.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, we'll end it there. Go take a break, and then we'll be back. We'll be back in a few minutes, but for the folks that have to wait a week, we'll talk to you in a week. But thank you for dropping by and listening to the show. We appreciate it. And have a good evening, day, morning, night, whatever the hell you're listening to when you're going. So, all right. Ciao, folks.
Goodbye.
We're out.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
That's all, folks.
Thank you. Come again.
Why, you little?